So the key thing in using logs to solve equation is, this is what people do wrong every single year. You must make the equation into one single log on one side first. So log is not a linear function, so you can't distribute logs, right? Log is just a function, like you can't distribute square root. So what you have to do is you got to make it into one log. All right, so let's look at this equation here, and we are trying to solve this. Okay, so what you want to do is combine all the logs into one log. So we got to combine these two into one log. So how do we do that? Isaiah, stop with the cabin analogy. Okay, so how do you combine the two logs into one log? Multiply. All right, so this is going to be log x minus 3 times x equals 1. All right, the next thing is we need to get rid of that log because that x is stuck inside the log. How do we get rid of that log? And to think about that question, you look at the base of this log. So what is the base? 10. So in order to get rid of this log, we have to apply something that has a base 10. So what we're going to do is we are going to raise both sides by 10. Raising both sides means now everything that was in the equation is now the exponent. Okay, I moved everything up by 10 as the base. So the rule in log is if the base of the exponential function and the base of the log are the same, they cancel. And that's why I'm choosing base 10. If it were not base 10, I would choose another base, so I can get rid of it. Okay, so that cancels. We have x minus 3 times x equals to what? 10. Okay, 10 to the first is 10. Okay, remember everything. I moved everything up as exponents, so that one was an exponent. Okay, now we need to solve. How do we solve this? Think back to last semester. How do we solve a quadratic equation? Yes, set it equal to 0. That is the key.
Wow.
Okay, x minus 3 times x minus 10 equals 0. Now what do we do? Yes, in this case, distribute. Okay, so x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Now what? Okay, factor, yes. So x minus 5, x plus 2 equals 0. And we know how to solve that. X is 5 or negative 2. However, we need to check our answers. Okay, some of them may not work, or maybe both of them don't work. So what you need to do is plug it back in. I'm going to tell you how to do this really fast. So you have two answer choices, 5 or negative 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to mentally plug it in. Remember, inside the log cannot be negative. We kind of talked about that for a while, right? We said if it's negative, then it's going to be no solution. So whatever number plugs in and you get a negative number, that number will not work. So what is the correct answer?
5.
Good. So the answer is only 5. So this is how you do it really fast. Just mentally plug it in and check for the negative number. Not the negative number. Like sometimes negative numbers work because when you plug it in, you get a positive number. Does that make sense? You got to plug it in and check. Is it going to make it negative? Yeah? Okay, so a lot of times I see students just automatically reject the negative answer. That's not what it's saying. You have to plug it in, cannot have a negative result. Okay? All right. Huh? All right, number 1, let's just practice really quickly. So what do I need to do? Actually, this one's really easy. Let's not do this one. I'm going to leave this one for you guys. Let's try, yes, that one's easy. Let's try number 3. This one's a little bit trickier. What do I need to do? Okay, yes. So I need to combine the two logs into one log, but I can't do that yet because there is a k in the front, or a constant in the front. So I have to move it. Okay, so let's log x to the 1/2 plus log 4 equals 2. And then I can combine. I think you guys know how to solve this. How do you combine? So the two logs have the same base, so what can I do when there's a plus sign in between? Multiply, yeah. So log 4x to the 1/2 equals 2. And then how do I get rid of this log? Yeah, raise it by 10. So that's going to cancel this log because they have the same base. So 4x to the 1/2 equals what? 100. And then what do? When there's only one x, we don't have to set it equal to 0. We can just solve it. Okay, divide by 4. X to the 1/2 is 25. Then what? Square. Yes, square. X is 625. Then you mentally check. If I plug 625 back in, will I get negative? Well, I will not. So 625 is the answer. All right, let's have you really quickly do 1, 2, 4. Let me check it, and I will give you some harder ones to do. Okay, number 1. Log 6 minus log 3x. That's log 6 over 3x. If you were to simplify that, it's 2 over x. A lot of you just put 2x. That's not right. So don't do it too fast in your head. You're going to have a tendency to make mistakes. Please be careful. Okay, number 1, x equals 200. Okay, number 2 is 2,000. And then number 4 is 200.8 or 1,004 over 5. Okay, let me give you a little harder one. All right, let's try this one. Let's call it number 5. Log base 8 of 2 plus log base 8 of 4x squared equals 1. Okay, so this is pretty much the same kind of question as before, except I gave you a base 8 and not 10. So you need to think about what to do with this case. Yes. Okay, so let me know when you have the answer. Make sure you check your answer to see if it works or not. Okay, the answer is plus minus 1. Good? Okay, let's try another one. Let's call it number 6. Okay, so this is a very common one where people tend to make mistakes. So I'm going to let you try it.
Is that log 9?
Log base 9, yes. The answer is 6. So a lot of people make this mistake, and I see it on tests a lot. They distribute this 9 all over. Okay, you cannot distribute this 9. 9 is a exponential function, and you can't distribute a function. So please do not do that. You have to combine it into one log before you proceed. Okay, so please, please, please remember that. I think you guys are pretty good.
Okay.
So let's have you guys start on homework.